Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to go into what we were shipping out today on Wednesday. So I didn't really have a video for Tuesday because we were like short on time shipping out everything. And then the video I already posted, we only had like 4 or 5 additional things that shipped out yesterday. So yeah, all right. So the first thing is really cool. Bicycle Cats playing card deck right here. So I listed a bunch of playing card decks yesterday. Yeah, it's a really cool one. I don't know if they can see it. This is one I actually almost wanted to keep, but it's by Lisa Parker right here. Bunch of really cute like artistic cats on all of the suits and stuff like that. This ended up selling for $11.25 plus shipping, so everything's gonna be plus shipping. So yeah, I do like getting playing card decks. I do try to look for the ones I know other people look out for. Like people do like this kind of thing. I even have like a small little collection myself. All right, next up, I can't really unpackage this right now. It's a vintage. I put man with long beard goes fishing. It's like a ceramic figure. I'm not even sure like where we got this particular one, maybe like an estate sale or something like that. End up selling for $14.84. All right, moving along. All right, got a story with this one. This is, oh, show him? Yeah, okay, I'll try to show him. I just was trying to do this in one shot so we don't have to edit, but yeah, I'll do my best. I just don't want him to get broken. Okay, maybe it's easier than I thought. I just get nervous. Like once someone buys an item, I like highly respect it. It's now their item and it's my job to ship it out. Yeah, I guess you're gonna have to repackage it. That's correct right here. There you go. Just like is like literally an old man with beard and he has like his little fish hooks and his hat right there. He's a ceramic statue. Like I said, this guy sold for, what was it, $14.84. So yeah, it's a pretty cool one. I don't know if that's something like we would normally grab, but we do have a lot of types of things listed. Speaking of which, we have Silver Threads Among Gold right here. This is like a music sheet for like piano music. Yeah, this one, do you remember the story for this one? Okay, so we were at this what was it, a auction company moving from one place to the other. So there was a lot of like ravenous people there, right? So Annette and I arrived there. We start looking at this stuff. I'm at like a table. There's a bunch of cool like old photographs and stuff, and something that I always wanted to get into. I just wanted to get a bunch and like actually like dive into it. So I yell out, like I'm an idiot. I yell out to Annette like, "Oh hey, there's a bunch of these cool photographs." And sometime in like turning and yelling her at that, someone came in, literally like in front of me, grabbed it all, and like was waddling away. And I was like, "Wow!" I thought that was, I guess, rude, right? Not a big deal. And then later on, I'm like looking for, I turn around and I'm looking for the photographs and I see the person waddling. I'm like, I guess I shouldn't have opened my mouth. I should just grab it myself, right? And then I saw a bunch of these like piano sheets that were next to the photos right there. So I'm like, oh, this is cool stuff. I've never done this stuff, so we're going to grab it. So I go ahead and grab it, and we grab a bunch of items. I wasn't even like fully thinking about this as piano sheets. I just saw like this paper stuff. I'm like, oh, this looks like cool vintage ephemera. This is stuff we deal with every day. Later on, when we had a big pile on the ground, there's the same lady. She walks up to like my pile and she starts going through it. I'm getting a little frustrated. I'm like, hey, this is like my stuff. Like I am buying this stuff. Please like stop going through it. You know, I'm trying to be as kind as possible. Eventually, I had to like let the person who was running. I was like, hey, can you like make sure like this is the stuff we're buying? We've bought from him many times. So he's like, yeah, I got you. I'll do my best. But she kept yelling about her Mozart. And I was like, I had literally no idea what she's talking about. She's just like, you have my Mozart? Do you know where my Mozart is? She was just freaking out about Mozart. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I was like, no, I don't. Can you please just stop touching my stuff? Like, she's literally going through it. She's not finding her Mozart at the time. So I didn't think about any of that other than, okay, this person just wants a bunch of stuff, did a little rude stuff coming in and cutting it. You know, I moved past it. It's not a big deal. We buy all of our stuff. Eventually go home. I think I put it in like basically my inventory pile out down there. And then after like 6 months or a year, I eventually get down to the bottom of this pile because I was like, I list different stuff all the time. And I eventually see all these piano sheets, right? And one of them happened to actually be this Mozart piano sheet, right? I think these are, before I go further into the story, I think these, I don't know if these are like copies or they're just like this one, and I'm selling, sorry, for $7.49. So yeah, I'm not sure like if these are like super official ones, but you know, I took a bunch of pictures and someone bought one and I saw the Mozart. I'm like, oh, so that's what she was talking about. So I accidentally, I guess, did take it, but it happened to be in the weird situation where I was.
She did tips on something she didn't actually grab.
Oh, like dibs on something, I guess?
Just explain that she tried to dibs on something that she didn't actually grab herself. She left it on the table.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was about to get into. So she must have dropped the pile of these piano sheets when she grabbed all the photos that I was yelling at Annetta that I was excited about. And she probably forgot them, right? And then when I turned around, I just was looking at a table where the photos were gone. And then I moved, I looked at the rest of the table. It's just a table. So I'm like, oh, these are cool paper ephemera. So it was kind of like karma, I guess, in my head. Like I didn't know that I grabbed something that she claimed fake dibs on, and then she took the stuff that I was excited about. A lot of fake drama, but like I said, it took me like almost a year to realize the conclusion to that story. Like I said, I just ignored it at the time. People get ravenous at these things sometimes. We are not. You just got to be polite. And then the people who sell stuff, they appreciate people respecting just everything. They really do. It really matters to them. You can also haggle better, and you form a better rapport with these people. Or you want to say something, Nina?
Well, can you mention the duckies? That, someone else tried to dibs in front of me.
What duckies?
There was duckies.
There were duckies? Okay. Well, I feel like you would have to tell a story because you and I were at different parts at this auction house moving, but Annetta said that there was she was about to pick up some duckies, and nowhere someone yelled that they had dibs or something. Annetta was put off from it.
Came running up and he was like, "That's my wife's," but they left it on the table and they had nothing in
their hands. Yeah.
They could have just picked the duckies up. Explain
that. Okay, yeah. Annetta said that some guy ran across at Annetta, was yelling, "Those are my duckies," or "my wife's duckies," and Annetta was confused because their hands were open, so they could have just grab the stuff. It was a lot of fake drama, a lot of just ridiculous drama. We ended up getting a bunch of stuff. We don't focus on the drama, but I just wanted to when this sold, I'm like, I just always remember that Mozart story. It really is a special memory, I guess, for doing this kind of stuff. I'm sure other people have had crazy stories of ravenous people doing stuff like this at sales. Like I said,
old guy almost pushed me down the stairs because he was trying to get to the board games.
Oh, you want me to go through that one? Okay, so we went to an estate sale. We were kind of first ones in. There happened to be it was someone's house, right? So they had a weird basement. Not weird. It's just you go down and then it's narrow. Yeah, it's a narrow stair. It's kind of dangerous, right? You don't want people running just in general up and down it, adults or not. It's just one of those staircases that you look at it, you're like, you should kind of be careful on that. And then Annetta, I think, was going up. She was carrying something she had found, and people weren't letting her through. And then this guy comes barreling down. And I was looking at the board games because I had a bunch of board games. I know stuff about board games, right? And he just barrels past her, almost knocks her over. He goes straight to the board games, just starts literally tossing stuff onto the ground. And I'm just okay, geez. These were our kind of beginning days. That's not all of the estate sales we've gone to, but we have had.
Chicago, so there's more people.
Okay. This one happened to be close to Chicago that I wanted me to mention, so there just happened to be more people at that one. So yeah, there's a lot of stories like that. I'm gonna move on. All right. Unless if people want to hear more. It's usually when the item sells and I remember the place that we got at, and then the story comes back to me. All right, moving along. We sold another horror movie. I don't know why these have been popular. You saw this one? I have not seen this one. Oh, Svengoolie? I can't say it.
No, Svengoolie.
Svengoolie?
Yeah.
Okay, this is...
used to play those movies.
These types of movies?
Yeah.
This one's called Shrieker. It talks about on the front, if you hear it, it's too late. On the back, it talks about how there's 5 victims and the 6th victim's going to become the next one or something. This stuff looks really campy. We sold the Ginger Dead Man, and now this sold. I told you guys that I got probably 20 or 30 horror DVDs one time. They were kind of stuff like this. I don't know why these are selling back to back. I guess people are just in the horror mood. Right there, that sold for $7.42. I haven't seen that one, but all right. Next up, we have this Level 1 Volume 2 2021 indie RPG anthology book. I have another one of these, so I already relisted it. There's there's a sheep with the sheep mask on a stick. So yeah, I'm not too sure what this one is. But yeah, this one ended up selling for $8.10. People do all kinds of RPG stuff. It's super popular now. Always have been. I think it's just increasing in popularity and not just Dungeons and Dragons. All right, next up we have a lot of 48 Airfix World War II Gurkhas. I hope I didn't say that wrong right here. So this is the little someone cut out the little cover for it. I think I got these at auction where the previous owner like would keep the miniatures right here. There's the miniatures with their like cut out maybe to remember what they were. Or, you know, some people just like to collect stuff like that. $17.24 for these miniatures, which is pretty cool. And then moving along, we sold some Warhammer 40K bits and pieces. We've been selling a ton of these. Got a bunch at the auction for $40. I did the math at one point, and we were close to $1,000 just from the one bid. I got super lucky. I know people like this stuff. So sorry, these are Astartes faction. I hope I'm saying that right. Bits and pieces. These sold to a repeat buyer for $12. I finally sat there and counted how many more baggies of these I have left. I think it's either 3 or 4. So like they're almost done for. But within that auction, lots of just also the bits and pieces. There was like 20 or 30 of like psychic power decks for Warhammer 40K, different faction decks, terrain decks, objective decks, campaign decks. So like there was even more stuff that sold for $12. All right. Next up is going to be Dark Age Feudal Lords. Is that the card game right here? They only have one set. I'm just going to cover up a little bit because she has like a butt crack showing, but I don't want to get in trouble for it. But yeah, this is going to be a rare right here. This ended up selling for $10. This one's pretty interesting card game because when I looked it up, they had a couple of sets past the first one slated to be printed and made, and they only ever ended up having one set. I got a ton of these. This one rare ended up selling for $10. I do like to lot up my cards often, but I do, when I get them, look them up to see what rares and uncommons or foils or special ones that I can list separately. Like I do put effort into it. And then once I go through that, I just kind of lot up everything else. Speaking of a lot of cards, right here, I don't think the code's worthwhile anymore, so I'm just going to cover it just in case. A lot of 22, these are World of Warcraft TCG Ninja vs. Pirate cards. So these are really... you would buy the World of Warcraft trading card packs. In them, I believe you get one of these in each of those packs. They would come with like points, kind of like a like catalog system or reward system back in the day where you would enter in the points and then you would have a catalog of stuff you can purchase. So World of Warcraft, I think it was like Cryptozoic and was it Topps? I'm not sure what the other company worked with them. They put in these codes that you can get like World of Warcraft stuff. I think it was physical stuff. I don't think it was digital. Although within the card packs, you can get loot cards, which you scratch off, and then you get a digital thing in World of Warcraft. All right. Yeah, I know I'm rambling, but it's pretty cool. These happen to also, so these codes, I think this program's long doesn't work anymore. But in addition to the codes on these, they also have these Pirates and Monkeys individual cards, and they have a rule set of like a mini game you can play within these. So it was really cool that they thought about this. So these are like multifaceted like collectibles, especially at the time, because you would get the points and you wouldn't throw out the card. It wouldn't be wasteful. You would actually collect these Pirates and Monkeys with different numbers, and there was a full another game within the packs you can play. This lot sold for $10.49. Sorry, I know I rambled a lot about that, but I know a bit. It's pretty cool. All right, next up is a vintage MCM. It's like a green, what is this, swung art, I think. I had to like look it up. I'm not a glass person. And Anetta actually got a lot of, it was probably like 30 or 40 different green MCM like glass pieces. And then she's like, oh, I thought they were smaller because when I went to pick up the auction lots, it was a big bin. I kind of looked at it and I was like, oh, boy, we don't have space. I hope these sell. I think, didn't you spend like $5 or $10 on the lot? No one bid $10. No one bid on her. We made a good amount of money from it. I don't know if I would want to do it again just because like I have to be careful storing it because it's normally, I just have to worry about what like boxes not getting bent or like papers which are easy to keep flat or cards you can put in top loaders glass. I'm not an expert. But this one sold for $11. This is a small one. We also kept a couple of them. I don't think any are on our shelf behind us right now. But all right, 2 more things. The first thing was I was listing more playing cards than I got yesterday. These are PGC, professional gambling cards. These are from, I think, Las Vegas. The back said like Dunes, Las Vegas, Crown or something like that. There's a bunch of these Dunes ones. Apparently these were super popular. I was looking up other ones that like had sold. There was like a blue deck from a specific Dunes and Las Vegas place that sold for like 40 or 50. I ended up putting these up for 80. Someone immediately sent a $60 offer. It ended up going to a repeat buyer, so they bought stuff from us. Their username has cards in their name, so like I'm not going to give their full username, but yeah, obviously they like playing cards as well. And then so that was pretty cool. Oh, sorry, $60 for these two. That was pretty cool. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm glad I switched over. I was listing a bunch of miniatures. They weren't selling as much. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go work on some of the other stuff. I did post a video of all that stuff, 4 videos about all of the stuff that I've been listing recently. Not all the stuff that's shown, but like this was definitely in one of them. All right, and then the last thing was this Bonanza or Mercari.
Mm.
Bonanza right here. We have a Star Trek figure, Lily, Zephram Cochrane's assistant right here. I think she ended up selling for $14, $13 or something before like fees and stuff. So 14, 13 plus shipping. This one's also really cool because I remember the store KB Toys has the sticker up there. I know everyone, yeah, all of us like 90s kids like the KB Toys. Yeah, $6.99 KB Toys. Really good nostalgia for me. I do take pictures of all these extra stickers and stuff. I'm not sure who, like if people do or don't care about it, but might as well just show a picture of it. People do like some of that nostalgia. There's also like random like videos I've seen like a year or two ago where someone will have like their whole basement as like a Blockbuster. So like people do care about collecting this kind of stuff, or they just wanted the figure right there. Lily, I'm not a Star Trek. What's the word? Like I know very little about it other than people love it. There's a ton of like the TV series. There's different generations of it. There's the toys. There's the movies. It's really expansive. It's Star Trek, and what I've been told is more like philosophical thinking. Like that's what these episodes are. They're trying to get you to think about different societies, races, aliens, just different concepts, but in the Star Trek world. So that's why people like it. Remember, I had like a college professor that was really into Star Trek, and they were always talking about like the different episodes and their like inner meanings and stuff. So that's why people like it. So I don't know who the Lily character is. All right, so that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you'd like to help support us. Take a look at the shop down below. Have a good one.